Welcome back to SkyFactory 4. Today we're going to be getting on with a few things, but first of all I just wanted to cover armor. So in the last episode I covered making sort of the start to an improved version of Tinker's armor. I've now made that, so if you have a look in the previous episode there was a guide in the description by Alekium, however you pronounce that. I didn't make it mostly as it wrote, but I've got a few changes that I wanted to make to actually do that. So the idea of the armor is you basically craft the basic version, you use up a modifier or two, adding certain things, and then you start to damage it. You start to level it just by standing in cactus like this. Okay, and that will start damaging it, but it will also start leveling it. You'll see right now it's Grandmaster level, so I stood in the cactus for quite some time, and the whole thing is based on hard carbon. So if you want to repair it, just put some hard carbon alloy in your Tinker's armor forge along with the armor piece, and there you'll get everything. So here's what I've got on the armor so far. We've got lightweight, prideful, indomitable, heavy shielding, polished, sponge, invigorating, diamond, resistant 8, unbreakable, and speedy. Okay, now speedy is my addition to it. One of the guide says that Alekium's wrote is that you can add Nether Stars. And then you can add things like night vision and pistons. All three of those things I haven't added. So at the very end of towards the end of the guide, it says about adding those things. Now the reason in this pack I haven't gone and done that is twofold. One, we have our conversion to an android, which means in here we have step assist. That's the pistons already that you can add to boots. And we also have, well, we have high jump as well, but we also have night vision in here too. Now, I'm not sure if it's night vision that you can switch on and off. There it is. It says while active. So presumably there is, some kind of switch. In fact, let's just look in options, controls, and we're just going to look for matter. No. I want to search for, let's just search for night vision. No? Okay. Let's actually look through this manually then. Multiplayer, miscellaneous, hopefully it's alphabetical, it is. Matter override, Android ability key is N, and switch ability key is none. Okay, and open matter scanner GUI is C. Let's just reset that and escape it. Switch ability key, so why don't we just see what Shift C does? Or in fact, options, controls. Let's just actually shift that to Shift N, not Shift C. There we go, Shift N. Yeah, it should interfere with N, but hopefully not terribly. So we don't have any ability to do anything just yet, presumably because I don't have any abilities. But once that comes up, we should be able to turn it on and off. However, that means we don't need to add it to our armor. So here's my original armor. Okay, and if we take off this new set and just replace it, so let's just put our original set on. There's my manual and stuff. So our speed is 249% while walking, and our health is 230%. Now the speed might be a little bit fast, but it's okay. It's not a problem. And if we switch out for the new armor via the guide, we get 207% speed. It's still okay, but 304% health. So quite a lot more health is available. And this armor is very, very tough. So here are the stats. So you can pause the video. If you want to go through and see the stats, then you have them in front of you, and they are very, very good. It's now unbreakable, which counts as one of the quests that we needed. So there is the components, and I can even level them even further. Now you'll note there's still a modifier available. So instead of the Nether Stars, I put the Redstone Modifier on, so a speedy. So we're up to 207%. It's not quite that fast, it's like 170 or something if you don't put that extra level on. And I still have a modifier. So I could put more redstone on, and I could put Nether Stars or abilities. The abilities I've already explained. The Nether Stars is quite obvious really if you think about it. We don't need Nether Stars because Nether Stars give you Soulbound. Soulbound you don't need because you can put your armor in here, start a time loop, take your armor out, wear it, and then when your loop comes around, you've got another set of armor. So you'll see I have spares of everything. I don't need Soulbound. every time I die, if I die, I can just come back here, grab another set, and off I go of everything I need. So that leaves me with an extra modifier, which leaves me the ability to basically add more redstone. And I've not added at the last stage of redstone, but I'll leave the modifier on. And it looks like, you know, if I stand in, if I stand on that cactus for long enough, I could even add a further one, I think. I don't think I've ever gone above the 6,400. So you see, it's quite slow though. I've already gone through 3,200 just by leaving this here, and you'll see how little, look at the very top left of the screen, you'll see how little damage I'm actually taking. It is also consuming power, however, so you can't leave yourself here forever, but it's pretty, yeah, it's pretty low damage. You'll see 98% battery. That does go down as you actually take damage, and yeah, you do need to top up, but we have a wireless charger and a battery, so if you wanted to do this automated, just get your wireless charger, stand on side of some cactus, hold down shift or press something that holds down shift for you, like a weight on your keyboard, and just walk away. And you'll come back with your armor leveled, which is what I did. Apart from, yeah, I think I actually held it down manually and just read a book while I was doing it. So we don't need to do that anymore. So, in fact, let's just put that old armor away in the system. I do not need the old horrible armor now that we have some improved versions. So yeah, that's the armor. The link I'll try and put in this description of this video as well, just in case you didn't see the last episode, and feel free to go and check it out. And if you find any improvements on it, do let me know. More than happy to hear them. In any case, however, I've got lots of miscellaneous junk in here. Liquid purple slime, night slime. We've still got to go and do an unbreakable tool, I think, or something to do with tools. Or just level up a Tinker's Construct tool. So I can just make any tool or weapon, and then just go to the Nether basically, and just mine a lot of netherrack. It's very easy to mine, and it should level up a tool pretty quickly. So we've got Unbreakable Tinker's Construct tool or weapon. That also counts if you do armor. So if you're making armor, that's fine. One thing that wasn't obvious in the guide, for me at least, is when you get partway through, it says that you have 2 modifiers remaining, and then it says add 8 resistance modifiers. Okay, to each armor piece. And I'm like, 8? I have 2 modifiers remaining. Yep, it's absolutely fine. So what you can do with these is basically add multiple. Once you add one, it's just like adding redstone or anything else. I was thinking there were multiple modifiers. No, it's just like redstone. So you can have basically all 8 applied as one modifier. As soon as you upgrade one, it locks that category. And you can take, for example, the fire resistance one. The boots have fire resistance. And the, which other resistance? It's just the resistance one is all on all the other pieces. And then we have the unbreakable one on top, which is not resistance, but reinforced. Okay, and reinforced, you work your way up with this. Very simple, just use blank casts. You don't need specific casts there. Blank cast and obsidian, and you can craft these, and it takes, I think it's either 4 or 8. I think it may well be 4 to actually get to unbreakable level. Oh, sorry, 5, because it's 20% per one of these. So yeah, it's 5 of them to get to unbreakable. So you'd have to level up 5 times at least through the cactus. All right, so we've got our armor, and that's pretty much it for armor. I was also looking for flight options, and do let me know if you guys know of any of the flight options. There are a couple of other armor sets. One is this glitch infused stuff from Deep Mob Learning, and that, if you have the full set on, it's not as good as this armor we're wearing right now, but it gives you flight. Now, I don't see any ring of flight, which would be nice, like an angel ring. Is there an angel ring? No, there is not an angel ring. Okay, so there's also Supremium. Supremium, if I spell that right, Supremium helmet. Is that not in the game? Armor, chestplate. Let's look for chestplate. No, I don't see you either. Okay, maybe it's just locked behind because we've not unlocked it yet. So in here, we'd need to actually get through mystical agriculture and the various mechanics there if it's locked behind that. But that's 50 prestige points. Yes, that's like 500 minutes, assuming you can keep up with the power demands. So I'm not going to do that just yet. So if there are any other flight options, do let me know. There is basically glowing chorus fruit, and you can get that out of a loop fabricator from pristine shulker matter, and you can get that from shulker data models, and you know, you get that kind of stuff through there. However, that's giving you a few stackable minutes of creative flight each time it's eaten. It's okay, but it's I don't quite like and use milk to remove. I don't quite like the idea. I want sort of a permanent item, some kind of bauble if possible, and a bauble that gives you flight. If that's not possible, then that's fine. There is limited ones, probably like the air charm. That sort of lets you stand if that's still in the actual game. There it is, air charm. Walk on air, sneak to descend. So yes, you can actually craft that. We can already probably create that. I suppose that's going to be useful. Why don't we actually create one? We can always equip that air charm. Do we have everything we need? Just the nether wart. And hellish matter and mushrooms will get us the nether wart, but I don't have mushrooms. No, we can get it from the market. So let's just grab the market. It'll be my backpack. Yep. If you remember, we've got lightning strikes to our market guy. There we go. And let's just get some emeralds. It's a little bit loud. And get some mushrooms from them. The controller is a lie, apparently. Okay. So mushrooms. Yeah, and we want the red ones. And we'll just grab 32 of those. Good. And we just want hellish matter, and that'll convert it to nether wart just fine without having to go to the nether to get strongholds. And I think the hellish matter, is it just bones? I think it's bones. No, actually it's just netherrack. Okay, so let's just dump all of this in the system and pull hellish matter back out. And there is also a quest for the next set of matter up, so can we actually do that while we're at it? Let's have a look. The extraterrestrial matter from Deep Mob Learning. Extraterrestrial? Can we actually make that? Well, that is made with endstone, so technically we should be able to actually make it, because I think we have at least one endstone. That should get us the quest. Yep, the truth is out there, as you might imagine, an X-Files reference. And that then means a lot of this stuff then is done. We do need various different pristine matter types. So Enderman, Ghast, Zombie, and Wither Skeleton. Now, Wither Skeleton's important if you want to get to Nether Stars. You don't have to fight the Wither, it seems, in this pack. So let's just look for Nether Stars, actually. Because I was looking to whether we need to soulbind stuff. You could soulbind anyway, but that needs extraterrestrial matter. It needs Wither Skeleton skulls, and it needs soul sand. Now, you might think, do we have all of that? Well, we have the soul sand, that much is for certain. We don't have Wither Skeleton skulls. Now, of course, you can go and craft a tinker's weapon, like a cleaver, and you can use that to behead stuff in the nether. However, there are other ways around it in this particular pack. There's mystical agriculture, we're not there yet. That's more stuff we can't get yet. However, in Loot Fabricator, there is the pristine Wither Skeleton matter. That gives you 6 Wither Skeleton skulls. So we need to create Wither Skeleton skulls via the Wither Skeleton matter. So we need another data model, just like we've previously done. And that gives you hellish matter as well. So we can shortcut the hellish matter entirely. That's all good. So then, Wither Skeleton skulls, at least one skull is needed to get the data model. So we'll need to do that. Now the skull itself, well, we can't really get that without a Wither Skeleton. And then hopefully some kind of potential beheading thing going on. And is there any actual beheading options that are cheap and easy? Well, there is an enchanted book. Gives a chance for getting mob head or a player head. Good. And what can we actually craft that via Cyclic? Is there a Cyclic Enchanter? Cyclic. Is there an enchanter block of some kind? No, in Cyclic it probably has all kinds of options for that. Powered Enchanter. Yep, it adds enchantments using experience fluid and energy, and we need the experience fluid, so we'd probably want to, the pylon collects nearby XP orbs, so maybe there's a drain as well for us to do that, so I guess we could always craft it, and let's just see if that's actually doable. So let's just quickly craft a book from one of these recipes. Just craft some patterns, craft a book, craft an enchantment table and craft our powered enchanter. Good. We also want to probably get an XP pylon. Do we have most of what we need? Most of it? It just needs lime dye, and that is just cactus green and bone meal. And we have some of that. Good. So we have everything we need for the experience pylon. And is there anything else for... let's just want to look for XP. Is there any kind of drain or sewer or equivalent? Drain. Let's see. Fluid collector, faucet, smeltery drain, XP drain, singularity tank. Okay. I will assume that that is fine. We need a singularity tank, but that should be straightforward. And then we just need a couple more Eyes of Ender. Okay. And will that all combine? Well, let's see. Let's put the XP drain down first somewhere. Yeah, nowhere in particular. Let's put it over here for now. So if I have the XP drain down, will it collect stuff from my... Yes, it will. Okay, so if I have spare XP, then I can always dump it there. And it comes out. Will that also let me put an experience pylon on the side, maybe? That collects orbs, or I can drain directly from the player. So technically I don't need the XP drain. I can just do that automatically and then fill from there. Fine. And then on this side, maybe we can look at the enchanter. Let's actually get rid of that for a second. The enchanter, we probably want to have bookshelves around this, but it doesn't seem to give me any specific choices. So I don't get the choice for the enchanter I want, which is unfortunate because that's I would like the enchantment I wanted there anyway. So yeah, we'll think about that later and come back to it. I did also get some prestige points in the process of doubling my armor, so we should probably think about some other stuff that we can actually go for. Haven't got really enough to spend a lot in here yet, but we can go for faster growth of things. I don't think I actually need those, at least not yet. If we're going to need really fast stuff later, then I can. But again, this isn't a huge amount of prestige. It builds up slowly, but that's fine. I think what I'm going to do is just take the portal gun, and I think I'm going to take... I think I'll take the mega torch, actually. Yeah, we can always respec later. So let's just see. There we go. We unlock stage portal gun and mega torch. Portal gun. I like portal guns. Assuming they're not buggy. Let's see what it takes to actually make them. There are different ones, and each one has a different pair of portals, just like in the game Portal. So you can have like a red and yellow portal, and another one might have a blue and another one blue and purple or something like that. But yeah, different channels. There we go. So Peabody, Creative Inventory, etc. We need a miniature black hole. Okay. Yeah, I'm sensing this going somewhere. And that means a Nether Star. So yes, guess what we're going to need to do? Yeah, withers, and we need to get beheading. Interesting. Okay, and ender pearl dust is, well, that's in a philosopher's stone. We don't have access to that yet. We can just get it straight from smelting ender pearls. That's really easy. So it's just really back to the whole wither skeleton again. Fine. It's gonna make me craft a Tinker's Construct thing, isn't it? Okay, back in a second. Okay, so cleavers require inherent, well, they have inherent beheading, and you can add even further, more beheading onto them, as long as it follows the same kind of rules we had in 1.7. So we need the materials new book and see if we can actually add it. In fact, we can probably just make the cleaver as it is, because it should have some inherent beheading anyway, and we can make seeds for wither skeletons, so we should be able to do that just fine. So for that, we need the usual kind of stuff here. We need a large saw blade, and we need a plate pattern, and we also need tough tool rods. Yep, and I think that's it. Let's go and look at the tool forge for cleaver. So tough tool rod, large saw plate. Yeah, there we go. So that's fine, and we can put all three of those in. So we'll do the usual thing, just to get a bit of extra modifier. I don't really mind too much about how good or bad this thing is. I'm just going to use it for a temporary purpose, just to be able to get us into just getting automatic nether stars. So to do that, we're just going to need some paper. We're going to cast out a blade. So I'm going to just craft. Can we actually craft it here? Let's just get a. Whoops, that's sponge. We don't want a sponge. We want the blade. And can we actually make that need a little bit more cobble? Cobble. There we go. And let's try that again. Part builder. Can I not craft cobble? Ah, yes, I can. Just wrong side. That's fine. So stone, large sword blade. We're going to want a little bit of gold. Do I have any gold? I could probably melt this back. Can I melt the casts back down? No. That's weird. I should be able to melt the cast back down. Sorry, that's just inconsistent. It needs to be able to be meltable. That's fine. We'll just put a couple of pieces of gold in there. That will do the job. Make sure these are off. And then we'll just pop in the sword blade. Okay. So the rest, I don't really care all that much about. So we need a plate. And we can just make a stone plate, I guess. So we just put that in. Stone large plate. Yeah, it's cheap. But so what are you going to do? And then we're also going to want a large tough tool rod, and we're going to use paper for that. At least one of them is paper, and we can just use, I guess, stone for the other one. Okay, and that will do that job. We're going to use manulin for the sword blade itself, so that should be at least a decent amount of damage just to get started. So we'll cast that out, and then once the gold's gone, we'll get wherever the manulin is in here, which it's gone. I must have used it. Have I put it in the system? Yes, I have. Yeah, that's 5. We're going to need more than that. So we're going to need just to get some cobalt. And I'm just going to get 16 of you and some ardite. No ardite? Oh, ardite amber. Well, I don't know whether the amber is going to double. But let's just dump in 16 of each. And that should cook up. Yep, it's going. That's going to alloy together into manulin, which I'll then cast into a blade. Blade will go together with these other parts, and we'll see what we actually get out of the other side of it. I should note, by the way, one of the steps in the guide is to actually use polished it's to use sponge. But the sponge is needed to make a very specific piece of equipment, and it's easy to mistake this and get the wrong one. There are 2 different kinds of things. There is one, a sharpening kit, and there is a polishing kit. Make sure you make the polishing kit out of sponge for each piece of armor, 1 for each piece of armor, and not the sharpening kit. That will not work, because you'll need it to actually combine with some sand and some other bits and pieces. So that is, it's quite important. Right, so we've got the manulin there, and we'll cast that out. We should have enough, more than enough, in fact. It should alloy together with the ardite. And how long is it going to take you to cool? A little while, so let's skip forwards. And that's now done, so we should just be able to select a cleaver and combine all the 4 parts, and we get a cleaver. Okay, so it has beheading 2 by default, and it will also have 4 modifiers, because one of these is basically paper. And its attack is 13. It's not great, but it's also going to be really, really slow. But I don't mind if half the time that's going to actually produce a wither skeleton head. So now I need that book. Where is my materials new? Materials. Okay, you're not going to give me a book. I don't know where I actually put it. So materials and new. Why don't I just make another one? Yeah, another book. We need a few more stencils, patterns even, and we got a book. Fine. So in here, we're going to be looking towards the modifiers, and we want to change this to add beheading. Now, I think it was something like an ender pearl and a obsidian. Oh, wait. Ha. Yeah, that's the same as the previous recipes then in the previous version as the Tinkers. So that hasn't changed, which means we got things going quite well. We got basically sticks into obsidian from this, and let's just get a few more sticks. 1, 2, 3, 4. And I think I have some obsidian in the system anyway, so let's get some of that. Yeah, we've got more than enough. And we need some ender pearls as well, and that's not a problem. 300. So we've got 4 modifiers. So let's just actually see whether this counts as a single one that we continue to add or 1 modifier for each one. I'm expecting it to be 1 modifier for each set. So let's just put that in. And there we go. So that is now beheading 3. So it should be 30% chance. And beheading 4. Yep, it's taking 1 modifier as I expect. Okay. And now it's beheading 6. So it should be a 60% chance of getting ahead. And we also will need to just get a few other things. So with a skeleton seeds. Yep. And what does it take to craft more of those? Do we have more of those available? 6. Yeah, 6 will do more than enough. And get some bone, as we normally would. And then we're also going to need with the skeleton data model, I think. With a skeleton data model. And then we're going to need to kill more of them, of course. So I need a wither skeleton skull to actually make that. That's fine. Let's just get the data model, a blank one. The deep learner we already have. We want a blank data model. Blank. Yep. Let's just make one of you. There we go. Okay. And we'll get the deep learner as well. That will become useful. And we have everything we need. So, whoops, other than jumping into water. So we should be able to grow this. Okay, and let's bring up our cleaver. And wait for it to come up again. And we get ahead first time. Good. So now we can combine that with our data model. With a skeleton data model. And we can then go through, get a deep learner, get that plugged in. And we need to basically get rid of a few more. So let's just go into that mode. Let me just get my bone meal. And then I can grow a few more of these. And we may even get enough with the skeleton heads for basically to get a Nether Star or 2 without going to this data model. There we go. And we've got 1 there. So I'm going to keep going. We'll see how many we get. And we've reached the basic tier. I still have 3 seeds left, and I already have 4 wither skeleton skulls. So we can combine those to make a Nether Star, I think. Nether Star. Yes, looks like we can. If I just have my storage remote. Nether Stars. We can make one. Good. Just by itself. Okay, so the Nether Stars we can then smelt up with some ender pearls. And that will let us make the other item we want. So let's just get our elite smelting factory, dump those in. I'll make 32, and we can just put away some of this stuff. Some coal. I still have some wither skeleton seeds left, and our data model, which is in our deep learner, is now to a tier that we can put it into our usual machine. So let's just get it from here. We're going to take out the witch data model, and we're going to put in the wither skeleton one. That's going to keep going. It's still got 3 million to go, and we'll just put the witch one in here so we keep these all together. And I can actually put this overworlding matter in our main system. Okay, that should come in useful. And we have hellish matter already, of course, but we are going to be getting more of that out of the system. So you should already be done. Yeah, lots of you. So let's get this together with our Nether Star. 1. And let's surround that with the end dust to get the miniature black hole. And the miniature black hole then should let us get the portal gun. So we don't need anything else, I don't think. Nope. Newly crafted portal gun. And do each of these have different recipes? No, they've all got the same recipe. So maybe it's a random result? Doesn't say. Oh, I missed that sound. So portal guns, as you might imagine, are fairly straightforward to use. So if we have a couple of, let's say, blocks here, and they usually work between dimensions as well, I think. We'll give that a try. In fact, why don't we just go between dimensions and let's see whether that actually does work or not. Do we want a Lost Cities cake? Yeah, let's go to the Lost Cities. There we go. So if we want to come here, if I want to just get a portal. Let's right click on you and let's go back to the overworld. And then left click on the other one and let's see if we get a portal out of it. So, left click. No, looks like it's only in the same dimension. That's a shortcut to things like lost cities. So for example, you have two in the same dimension. You have one near your cake and the other one in whichever sphere you're working in. So still handy, just not as handy as you might expect. There we go, they're open. And no, you can't see through them. It's such a shame, but you can't do that. I don't think Minecraft's capable of actual portals. But anyway, easy enough to get around with them. So I do quite like having the portal gun. It's useful for the other dimensions, particularly the Nether. It's got lots of stuff far away from the entrance. So if you did this first and you hadn't gone to Nether yet, well, you could get around a little bit easier. And of course, lost cities, once you've explored to a sphere, very, very useful. So that's going in the bag, and we shall be using that along with other stuff. So today we've got Nether Stars done. We've got portal guns done, which are both really, really nice. And now we should basically get Hellish Matter for free. And we should also get, if we have a look in here, eventually, once it actually gets through this, it's going to keep failing for a while. But once it gets through this tier, we should start getting some basic, what was it now? The pristine wither skeleton? Pristine wither. So wither skeleton matter. Yes, that's how the wither skeleton data model. So we should be able to then get wither skeleton skulls automatically, which basically means automatic Nether Stars. We just dump the stuff out of the simulation chamber into the loot fabricator, and away we go. That will just let us produce it. Is there anything else we actually need? Coal? No. Necrotic bone? No. I suppose these are all random as well, so we can't get just choose. No, in fact, no. The loot fabricator will let us choose. So we're just going to go straight for wither skeleton skulls. There's no need for any of the other. I suppose unless necrotic bone, we don't need a withered bone crook. We don't need brewing. Soul generators. Well, I guess that's one way of getting power. Yeah, and an upgrade soul generator, I suppose. And you can convert, well, you can make potions using cauldrons instead of actually making brewing stands. Yeah, none of that really is very useful. So yeah, definitely wither skeleton skulls, and that will be useful for there. You can also, of course, go and build a wither builder. Is that actually one of the quests? Do we have a quest for killing the bosses? Because it said the dragon isn't included in this pack. Yeah, the dragon isn't there in the end dimension apparently, so we do need to go to the end pretty soon and see what's over there. Oh yeah, there is a quest for exterminating the wither. So it's probably worth doing that in a nice dimension where we can control everything, and flight will be ideal, but we're going to need a ranged weapon if we don't have flight. So of course we're going to bring out the Matter Overdrive ranged sniper rifles, and it'll drop to the ground and we can hit it with a sword or some equivalent kind of weapon, and we'll see how that goes. Anyway, that's for another episode. I think I want to get into the Matter Overdrive sort of trials soon, so that requires a different approach entirely. You're basically fighting against mobs to get stuff out of them, and that's something we have to explore. Yes, we should kill those other bosses, but I think next episode we'll see if we can get to the end. That seems like a good option there. We just need an end cake, and well, that's not related. Floaty McFloaty, I suppose. You need that for the end if it's just a void. We couldn't afford a dragon this time around, fine, but we need Dragon's Breath. How makes Dragon's Breath if the dragon isn't around? Dragon Breath? We need end crystals, which are cheap enough once we have gas tiers, and we can make gas tiers from sugar and spider eyes, we can probably modify from other stuff. Yes, we can. Good, so I don't need to go hunting ghasts. We can, it's just the nether dimension in this pack is too far away. All the land masses are really far from each other, and we don't have flight, so we can't just go easily hunt ghasts because they're most often near lava, not near land. All our current armor actually resists lava quite well, but yeah, that's another thing entirely. So other than that, we need liquid chorus, fire charges. Fire charges is straightforward. Extraterrestrial matter we know now is straightforward. We just need to make endstone, and we know how to make that already. We can make it from sand, in fact, and extraterrestrial matter, so we don't even need the pouring lava over whatever it was previously. So that will do, and that just means liquid chorus bucket. So what's liquid chorus? Presumably just melted down chorus fruit, would have thought. So in a squeezer, that's the thing you have to jump up and down on. I'd rather not do that. I'd rather have the mechanical squeezer, at least. And we need popped chorus fruit, so the mechanical squeezer is cheap. Yes, very cheap. So pop chorus fruit we get from chorus fruit, which we can get from bonsai, which we already have. Remember this one? It's the thing that generates ender pearls 1% of the time. Remember we had that at the very start? I'm not even sure if it's ever generated any ender pearls. However, the chorus fruit and the popped chorus fruit is chances of 75% and 30. So if we look in our system, we should already have some because we had a tree going for some time. Chorus. Yep. So we've got lots of that available. So we can do the whole chain there for Dragon's Breath. I'm not going to do this episode, but we'll get to it soon enough. And that's looking pretty good. So I should just keep making sure I drain my XP into something useful. And we'll come back to enchantment later. I don't need the beheading thing anymore because I've got the head of the Wither Skeleton. So I'm not quite sure what we're going to be using. If we... Tinker's unfortunately doesn't take enchantments typically, so we can't use it for that. Otherwise, this armor would just be ridiculous. It's already ridiculous. It would just be even more ridiculous. So, yeah. Okay, so that's it for today. I hope you enjoyed the episode. Give it a thumbs up if you have. I know there's lots of talk in this episode. I'll try and do a more sort of action-related episode with bosses next time just to compensate, to keep everything a little bit varied. And, of course, you can let me know down below if you've got any suggestions from what you've seen in this episode. Do remember, just as I've said previously, I'll be saying this over the next few videos, including a Satisfactory. If you do like Kerbal Space Program, there is a new DLC coming out for that at the end of the month with basically Kerbal Inventory System included now, pretty much, and also Infernal Robotics. So if you like making hinges, pistons, all kinds of stuff that transforms. For example, you could have solar panels that fold out even if they aren't meant to be folded out, so, you know, the fixed stuff. Yeah, you could build all that kind of stuff. So that will be quite useful. If you want to have opinions, I can probably continue the previous Kerbal series. That's not the RSS one. That's the one just in vanilla. But we could also start a new series. I don't know. Let me know what you think in the comments down below, and we'll see what we get from that. Otherwise, we'll see you next time. And yeah, as always, guys, thanks for watching.